So I wanted to kind of do something a little bit differently. I know we kind of started with High Five Fridays last week, and I wanted to do something to do a High Five Friday, but a little bit differently. As opposed to celebrating all of our business successes, I wanted to see if people would be willing to share some of their own kind of high fives live. I figure we've got so far this morning 72 people on this Zoom call. Not many of you using video, but that's okay. I won't hold it against you, even though I'd much rather see all your beautiful faces. Um, so I'd love to kind of start with gratitude. So, I'll go first, obviously. I wanted to just personally thank everybody that's been coming on these morning calls. This has been, we as a staff typically do a morning huddle, but to see all of your faces every day and to kind of hear the stories, all the agents who have been sharing their success stories, hearing all of those, it gives me just so much energy to start my day. So I just wanted to start by thanking all of you first. Now, what else has been going on in your world? Who wants to volunteer? You all have the ability to unmute yourself. Who has somebody to thank? Who has somebody that they want to give a high five to or a shout out?
I'll go first.
Our sales rallies, so you should all be familiar with this process.
Hey, it's April Fury. I'll go first.
Go for it.
All right, good morning. I want to give a shout out to Chris DiBiase in the office. He's really, really dedicated to the business. I know that he's a newer agent, but I don't think I've ever worked with or seen anyone that's more passionate about their job, about learning, about wanting to be better, not just for himself, but obviously first and foremost for his clients. So I just want to give a gratitude and shout out to him for checking in on me regularly and always, kind of leaning into other people so that he could become a better agent.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel the same about you, April, and everyone in this office. Seeing the numbers on this call and other calls and the participation, the leadership from the Market Center has been absolutely incredible, along with KWRI. And yeah, you know what? I work hard, but I want to be better for not just for myself, for all of you too. So if there's anything I could do for anybody, just ask.
Awesome. Yeah, Chris has been great. Thank you, buddy.
Chris. And I go along with Chris. The leadership throughout all this has been phenomenal. Not that it isn't normally, but it's just, it is always great. But just all the leadership getting us through all this, all the information that we're getting, these crush it calls. And like Chris said, everybody in the office was just bringing us all together. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm thankful to everybody there, but especially to those of you, Steve, and Dan, and Carlos, and Rick, and the staff, Sam and Adonis. Everybody's been very, very quick at responding whenever I've needed anything. And these morning calls give you something, because this week is one of those weeks where I'm just like, it's really hitting me. And so I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you.
I also want to say I'm thankful for the staff and for these morning calls. I look forward to them every day, and it gets my day going. And I look forward to the afternoon because it's a nice way to close up. So thanks, everybody.
Yes, and I would like to second to that, Alice, and also to add that I'm grateful for Jen and all the structure and all the knowledge that she brings to the table and her creativity and her help. I also would like to thank the mortgage broker team and their smiles and their cheers all the time. Hi, Paul. Hi, Karen. Hi, Tammy.
Hey.
So thank
Happy birthday, Paul.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Paul.
If I could go, this is Dawn. I'd actually like to send out a thank you to Zillow. Totally something I would never do, but they have this 3D tour that is free, that is equivalent to a Matterport, and it's pretty amazing. So it came out in one of their emails, and I used it yesterday for the first time. Thank you, Zillow. I think it's great. So, and I'm not a big fan of Zillow. Everyone knows that one.
Please don't compare it to Matterport because I'm a Matterport user.
Give it a shot.
So I want to thank, I actually want to thank,
Great.
oh, sorry, Dawn. I want to thank the Trombas because in one of those Capper masterminds, they talked about having a daily group call. So right after the 9 a.m. call, the Alexander Kassendorf group has a 9:30 call, and it's about 15 minutes, and it just really, it keeps our team focused and it keeps our team together. I'm grateful always for my team. But thank you, Trombas, for initiating that. And thank you, Rick, for initiating that mastermind, the team mastermind Rainmaker, because it's really awesome. And, you know, I love those Trombas.
Oh, you're sweet. Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. I was going to give a shout out to you. Jeannie just talked me through a really tough time we're having with a seller who's just been really stubborn with these necessary price reductions in this time. And it's always so helpful to talk to our fellow Rainmakers as, you know, talking through tough, challenging times. And so Jeannie actually did an amazing thing. 2 weeks ago, we put a house back on the market with a picture with snow on it. And she called me, she goes, I'm in my car. I'm heading to your house right now. I'm taking spring pictures. I was like, oh my God. So we all help each other, and thank you, Jeannie, for that. But I also want to give a shout out to Len Schwartz. I am blown away how Len has embraced this new on his feet thinking with his Zoom broker open yesterday. If anybody saw that, I was just like so amazed how he had, I think, over 25 people on Zoom showing his new listing. And I'm just like so impressed with how he's rolled with it. His invitation, the reminder an hour before. Go Len. That's it.
Okay, I'll go if you guys can hear me. So I want to give a shout out because number one, I feel like I'm really part of something here. And I'm so grateful for that because I know there's a lot of lenders who are just to get invited to a 10-minute call. So just to be part of this family is so great. And I am so grateful for that. And to be included in a lot of the things that you guys are doing, it's really changed my business and given me something to look forward to. And then the other thing is I want to give a shout out to my company because Loan Depot has really, so after I'm done doing all this stuff with you guys, I'm on with Loan Depot doing stuff and they're staying ahead of the curve as well. So just to be part of these two, you know, monster companies that are really ahead of this, it's just an honor and a privilege. And I'm so grateful to be partnered with you guys.
Awesome. Any other high fives out there?
Yes, I would like to give a high five. This is Bella, my dog, by the way. Bella. I'd like to give a high five to Scott Leroy Marketing, just to thank them for everything. They've been very timely in their response. And if anyone's struggling on the tech front, definitely reach out to them because they've been awesome. I've been in contact with them about 5 times this week and they really helped me out. So use the resources.
Yes, most people don't realize Scott Leroy is not just about onboarding and getting people set up. They have a ton of great support tools out there. So if you ever have any tech questions, things like that, feel free. Please use them. You know, we pay for it, so please use them.
I'd like to just thank everyone who has sent us emails personally thanking us on behalf of the entire leadership. I know that sometimes we're so overwhelmed that we don't get to reply to every single text and every single email. Thank you. But you guys definitely are the motivators that keep us going because we get tired too. And sometimes we don't want to go to work, but thank you so much. And a big shout out to my grandma who just turned 84 this year.
Nice. All right. Anybody else out there? How are we feeling this morning? Mo likes to say, or is it Mo or Diane that likes to say that gratitude is the highest form of energy, right? Are you feeling good? Because I'm feeling pretty damn good right now. And I also just want to say, so I wanted to start there with gratitude. So unless anybody else has anything else that they want to throw out, any other high fives, because I want to start there. But I also wanted to talk to you all a little bit about what's going on in the market right now, because I just pulled, yesterday I just pulled some market stats for the first 2 weeks of April, for the 1st to the 15th. And it's some pretty interesting stuff that I was seeing, that I wanted to share with you. Any other gratitudes or high fives before we jump into that?
Yeah, I'll just do one real quick one. It's just
Awesome.
It's a high five to Zoom. Because without the Zoom, you know, none of this would have been possible. And because of Zoom, yesterday was my dad's 90th birthday. You know, he had been planning all year to come up to Connecticut to celebrate his 90th. We were going to have a party for him. And of course, we weren't able to do that, but we were able to get the family all on a Zoom call last night, and then also invited his friends to come in as well, which was a little bit of a challenge, trying to help other 80 and 90-year-olds figure out how to get onto Zoom with FaceTime, me directing them on FaceTime call for 45 minutes just to get that set up. So, but after everything was done, it all worked out, and it was like one of the best birthdays he's ever had.
That's awesome. That's awesome. My 93-year-old grandfather has been using FaceTime and Zoom for the first, like, I've never done it before, but it's been absolutely great. I love being able to see him. Like, I'm talking to him like every other day via video chat now. And
Like
it's
a
great.
Saturday, it was like a Saturday Night Live skit last night.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I love it.
I would like to chime to that very quickly and to see how everybody else is doing. I would like to give a high five to myself because I already had 4 Zoom-in consultations with new clients, and I have a showing for someone coming from New York to see a house that is first day on the market. And I'm following all the directions that Rick is giving. I also would like to thank him for the seller's call because I use it to reach out to all of my sellers. So it's a pretty good thing going on.
Awesome. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the market. April 1st to April 15th. How's the market feeling right now? For any of you working with buyers right now, are you having a hard time finding them properties?
I'm having a hard time getting them to go even consider anything with looking for properties, whether it's virtual.
Okay. Well, you might have a hard time finding properties right now because new listing inventory over the first 2 weeks of April was down 68% over last year. A third of the new listings that would normally hit the market in that time just disappeared. I'm sorry, we have a third of what normally comes on. So 68% less, fewer listings. And at the same time, so you'd think that everything going on would also affect buyers, right? Because of what Mary just said, that there's just buyers out there that aren't gonna wanna buy. And yet what we actually saw in the first 2 weeks was that pending sales were up almost 5% year over year. It's shocking, right? 5% higher. The exact number was 4.7% higher. So when you have more buyers going into contract on homes and you have way less homes coming on the market, what do you get? I don't know about you, but I've been in this business for almost 14 years, and I would say that I don't know that I've ever seen a better time to be a seller than right now. Have we ever had that big of a discrepancy in listing inventory versus number of buyers on the market? So I think the message that we need to be going back to all of our sellers or potential sellers is, listen, now is not the time to wait, because what do we know is going to happen? Do we think that 68% of sellers just decided they're no longer going to sell their homes?
They're waiting.
The prices will go up.
They're waiting. So if 68% of the sellers that normally come on the market at this time of year have decided to wait, what does that mean for the people who don't decide to wait?
Higher prices, faster sales.
Faster sales, multiple offers, higher prices. How many people are seeing multiple offer scenarios right now? You know, on all of my ALC calls, I have my weekly calls, every single one of them is talking about multiple offers right now, scenarios.
Oops.
right? What, you know, so I think it's important to know, you know, Gene Rivers had a great session yesterday with a couple of team leaders out of New Jersey. And in it, you know, the simple conversation that we need to be having with our sellers right now is not, you know, okay, so you're not interested in selling right now, you want to wait. Let me ask, why is it? Like, what are your reasons for wanting to wait? Let's talk about that, right? Let's have an actual conversation. Because if you're a seller and you want to sell your house in the next 6 months, I would say now is the time to do it more so than more so than waiting. So I put together a little social graphic. I don't have the KW Prestige logo, so I'm going to send it over to Carlos and Steve, and they can add that to it. But I'll be emailing it out to the Ridgefield Market Center today. It's just a very simple graphic that you can use. There's tons of them on command if you want to, you know, kind of create something yourself as well. This one was created in command, and I literally did it in about 3 minutes. It's just a very simple post. I would recommend that everybody start posting these types of market stats, right? Let's change the conversation a little bit. Let's give everybody something else to talk about, other than the fact that nobody's buying or nobody's selling, right? Which is the conversation that's happening right now in the public. All right. How are we feeling about that? It's kind of crazy.
Excellent.
68% drop in new listings. It's crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you, Dan.
All right.
And,
Okay. So,
hey,
sorry.
Dan, I'll just add real quick to that.
Yeah.
Mortgage applications are up too. And I'm sure Paul and Karen can attest to, and Nancy can attest to the fact that it's not just refis. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just as busy doing purchase business. People are still getting pre-approved. People are, and my people are still being outbid or trying in multiple offer situations. So, you know, I agree with you. We got to change the conversation because the mortgage applications are still up. Maybe not what they'd be normally this time of year, but you know, they're matching what you say.
I agree. I mean, every mortgage partner that we have, every mortgage partner that I've talked to is saying the exact same thing, right? The mortgage industry right now are looking at tons of refis, but they're also looking at tons of applications. Paul, you said, I think you texted me earlier that you had a mortgage update as well.
I do. I want to quote today's Fannie Home Ready Purchase. Now, has income restrictions and zip code restrictions, but if you're in that sweet zone, purchase 95 financing, single family, 2.875%.
Wow. That's crazy. Do you want to put those notes in the chat so everybody can see them, Paul?
Just beat you to it, Dan.
Nice. Awesome.
What are the restrictions on that?
So the income restrictions have to do with a percentage of the average income in Connecticut, and then the zip code restrictions have to do with what block it's on, et cetera. You call me with an address, and I'll tell you exactly what it looks like. It's a great program for first-time home buyers. Lets you get in with 5% down. They also have a 3% down version, but we're talking below 3% for a purchase single family for that first-time home buyer.
Awesome. All right. Well, happy birthday, Paul. Thanks for the
Thank you.
update. And with that, we're going to kick it over to Adonis for our command challenge of the day.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Today is day 15 of the 66-day challenge, so we're steadily getting through it. Today is all about creating custom fields so you can further refine your contacts, whether it's for birthdays, children information, whatever is important to you. So take it away, Marty Miller. We got to unmute Marty.
15. So we are in contacts once again today, and today I want to teach you about custom fields. So custom fields, you have the ability to create these for your contacts. And I kind of think of custom fields as a piece of information that I want to be able to see very easily. And and yet may change or may be different from contact to contact. So we're going to walk through a couple of different examples here, but you can see custom fields. We have the ability when we edit a contact, we can come down to add more information and custom, and we can access custom fields this way in editing a contact. We can actually go in and add a new contact. And when we add a new contact, we'll have that same option, add contact here, and then you can see add more information and the ability to add custom fields down here at the bottom. If you don't have any custom fields set up, you basically would start off by clicking on add custom field. And it's going to tell you, do you want to select one you've already created, or do you want to create a new custom field? Now, obviously, I've done this video a couple of times, and so I've already created some custom fields in here. My old team, we used to do a Pi Day 3 times a year, and we would have clients that would come for multiple years. And so it was always a good thing for us to know their Pi choice, so that we would call to confirm that they were coming. We could say, hey, Mr. Smith, it's Marty Miller with CTIM Cell at that point. Just wanted to make sure you were going to come by, Tuesday before Thanksgiving to pick up your apple pie. It's just a higher level of customer service because I already know Mr. Smith likes apple pie. Other examples that you might have for custom fields, and you can see when you create one, let's just create a test custom field. I'm just going to put in test there, and I can click on create the custom field. Well, here you see the custom label name. And then you can see the different types of custom fields that you can select. So this is pretty cool. Text field, text area, as I understand, it's the same character count, although text field typically only shows on one line, while text area may be multiple lines of text. There's a drop down. So that's what I used for the Pi Day one. I basically created a drop down, and then you basically put here, apple, comma, space, right? And then peach, comma, space, pecan, comma, space, pumpkin, etc. So you can see it kind of gives you an idea, separate items with the comma down here at the bottom for a drop down. You also have date, right? You have text, we did those checkbox, number, URL, percentage, and currency. So several other different opportunities there. We're actually doing our ALC retreat today for KW Platinum, and we've been spending a lot of time talking about building our profit share tree and, kind of helping build the market center. And so I was thinking that text field might be a great box if I was putting in agents that I had done transactions with previously. I don't want to create 25 different tags for all of the possible different brokerages or more that these agents could be working with. And yet I could create a text field that was just called, right? Let's get rid of this and let's create a new custom field, and it would be brokerage name. All right, so I could create that custom field. That's just going to be a simple text field, and I'm going to click on create. All right, and so that's now created the custom field. And so then, I have to click done, and then there's the field. And so I could type in the brokerage name, I don't know, whatever, Remax Brand, right? And then click on create, and that contact is not going to let me create because I actually need a first name, but let's just put in 5 A's. All right, there we go. So now you can see in this contact record, when we pull it up, it's easily accessible. I have that information at the tip of my fingertips. I can just scroll down. When I get down to the bottom, here's that custom field, brokerage name, Remax Brand. I know that we've talked about notes and adding notes. However, notes are going to be a part of this timeline, and they are pushed down as different things start to happen. So it's nice to have that custom field because I don't have to scroll through an entire, list of things that are happening here on the right-hand side, right? You can imagine scrolling. I just have to scroll down just a little bit to get down to my custom field and see that very easily within the contact record. So lots of different options available. Obviously, lots of different ways that you could apply this to your business and really utilize it to the fullest level by creating, you could even have various custom fields, right? Have multiple custom fields within each contact record, and then just decide whether you're going to use that or not. If they're not a past client, they're not coming to Pi Day, I don't need to worry about their Pi choice. If they might be a future buyer or seller, I've had some agents that I know send pizza on the day of closing or the weekend after closing because they know how chaotic it can be moving into a house. And so if early on in the buyer process you found out their favorite pizza choices, then you could do that. It might be if they drink, right? What's their favorite wine? If they are a sports fan, what's their favorite sports team? So that way, if you're sending out sports calendars or anything along those lines, kids' names, there's a variety of different things that you could put in those custom fields. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, a fantastic Friday. Looking forward to an amazing weekend. And as always, I will look forward to speaking with you in the morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Marty. Today was a shorter one, huh?
It was. That's why I wasn't worried about going a
I'm
little
sure you've
long
heard
on
the
the
news about
Crush
the
It call.
government sending out rebate checks.
Right. So on Monday, we're going to talk about bulk unsubscribing from smart plans with your contacts. So we'll see you then for that. Awesome job today, Dan, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next time.
Have a good weekend, Adonis.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
You too, Dan. Thanks. Bye everybody.